Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani. Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the SAT Official Study Guide 2021. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. Today, we'll begin a new exam that you will find on page number 989. Please turn to it. Page 989, question number 1. Let's take a look at it. If at the end of the video you find this helpful and you would like to work with me, you can get hold of me by sending me an email at keshwaniprep@icloud.com. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Number 1. We are given a graph here. Very straightforward, simple graph. It goes through -1 and a +1. The y-intercept is +1, x-intercept is -1, and our job is to simply identify the corresponding equation. And of course it's not x equal to 1. X equal to 1 would simply be a vertical line at x equal to 1. It is not y equal to 1. That would have been a horizontal line at 1, and it is definitely not x equal to y. That line would go through the origin. It will be parallel to this line, but it will go through the origin. That's not it. The answer, of course, is x plus 1. Very simple, very straightforward. Of course, it's very simple and very straightforward. It's question number 1 on a scale of 1 through 30. And that's the answer. When x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, y is 1. And when y is equal to 0, x is going to be -1. In the next problem, we are given a circle. And we are asked the length of this arc, A to C, this arc minor. And we are told that the circumference is 36. If the circumference is 36, there's really not much to do here. If the circumference is 36, and since this is 90 degrees, this arc that we're dealing with represents 1/4 of the circle. That's all it is. So the length of the arc AC is simply 1/4 of that amount. 1/4 of that amount is 9. And that's answer choice A. Number 3. We are given 4x squared minus 8x minus 12 is equal to 0. And we are simply being asked to find the solution to this equation, this simple quadratic equation. Let's see what we can do, shall we? We see a 4, we see an 8, we see a 12. Why don't we divide the whole bloody thing by 4 so we don't have to deal with this nonsense? Let's divide the whole thing by 4. It will become x squared minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now we're looking for two numbers so that they add up to -2 and their product is -3. That's going to be -3 and -1. +1 rather. -3 and a +1. A -3x and a +x will give us -2x, and -3x and a +x will give us -3x squared. Look at these two terms, we get a common of x. From here we take a common of 1. Now we have x minus 3 is equal to as a common factor. And we are left with x plus 1, which means x is equal to either +3 or -1. A +3 or -1, and that's answer choice B, it looks like. Yes, +3 and negative, that's B. Number 4. Let's see what we have in number 4 on the next page. It says, which of the following is an example of a function whose graph has no x-intercept? Well, if it has no x-intercept, it has no real solutions, obviously. Graph with no x-intercept. Now that implies that the quadratic equation has no real zeros. It has no solutions. This is the case where if you were to solve it, you will not be able to factorize it. If you try to solve it by quadratic formula, you will find that the discriminant, the quantity that appears in the root sign, will be a negative quantity. It will be an imaginary solution. It has no zeros. And that's answer choice C. Everything else that we see there is mumbo jumbo. It's not a linear function. It's C. Let's not go through all of them. Number 5. Sometimes you sit there and try to read all the idiotic answers that they give us. It gets very annoying. Number 5. We have square root of k plus 2 minus x is equal to 0. We are told that if x is equal to 9, then k is equal to how much? So let's put in x equal to 9 in here. So square root of k plus 2 minus 9 will equal to 0. Bring the 9 to the other side. Square root of k plus 2 will become 9. Square both sides and we'll get k plus 2 will become 81. Don't have to worry about the negative solutions here. This is question number 5. It's supposed to be a very simple problem. Subtract 2 and k will equal to 79. So don't waste your time with negative root here. That was number 5. Number 6. We have a squared minus 1 and a plus 1. And they simply want us to add up these two expressions. That's all it is. Let's add them up, shall we? If we add them up, as you can see, negative 1 and positive 1 will go away. We'll end up with a squared plus a, and there is answer choice A. What do you know? Number 7. Number 7. Number 7 is a word problem. All right. Number 7, we are told that we have this person who has 2 jobs. I don't know if it's he or she, doesn't really matter. It says Jackie. I don't know if Jackie is a girl or a boy. Anyway, this Jackie person, she tutors. Let's pretend that she tutors T hours, for which she gets $12 per hour, and she also does a job as being a lifeguard. Let's pretend that she works L hours there, for which she gets $9.50 an hour. We are further told can work no more than 20 hours. So this will be a good place to stop here. We have our first inequality. She can work no more than 20 hours, which means that number of hours she works as tutoring plus the number of hours that she works as a lifeguard has to be less than or equal to 20, no more than. It can be equal to 20, but no more than that. That's a good place to stop, that good place to pause and look at the answer choices. We have the first inequality. We should be able to knock out 2 of the 4 answer choices. But that's usually the case. And if you look at it, there you go. Answer choice A and D are gone. The answer is either B or C. Let's keep on going. We're further told that she wants to earn at least $220. But there's another inequality there. Let's work on that on the top. Well, that was a very bright move because I just erased the hourly wage. $12 for tutoring and $9.50 for the lifeguard job. And she wants to earn at least $220. So if she works T hours as tutor, for which she gets $12 per hour, that's the amount of dollars that she will earn from her job as a tutor, and she works as a lifeguard, for which she gets $9.50 an hour. This is the total amount of money that she will get from the second job, and she wants to earn at least 220. At least means it has to be greater than or equal to 220. That's where you have to pay attention, because out of the two, you have to pay attention to the directions. We're looking for greater than or equal to 220. She wants to earn at least 220 hours, or $220 rather. And let's see, let's take our time here. C, I believe this works out. We were down to B and C. Yes, it is C. The answer is C. B is wrong. That was number 7. Number 8. We are told that the speed of sound is a function of temperature, and it looks something like this. The question is, what is the interpretation of this intercept 331.4? Well, obviously that's going to be the speed when T is 0. When temperature is 0, this thing drops out, and the speed of sound at 0 degrees centigrade is this thing. That's what it is. The answer is E. The interpretation of 331.4 is that it is the speed of sound at 0 degree. At 0 degree centigrade. That was number 8. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9, we are told that y is equal to x squared. We are further told that x has to be positive. We are also given another equation, 2y plus 6, we are told is equal to 2 times x plus 3. And we are looking for the solution. We are looking for the point where these two graphs intersect. One, as you can see, is the quadratic equation. One is the simple linear equation. Oh, we're not looking for the solution. We're looking for, you have to pay attention. We're looking for the product of the x coordinate and the y coordinate of the solution. Oh, so be it. Let's get going, shall we? Let's open this parenthesis. We get 2x plus 6. Here we have 2y plus 6. 6 drops out, which means 2y is equal to 2x. 2 drops out, which means y is equal to x. Y is equal to x. What do we do next then? Just plug in, let's substitute x for the y here. Obviously y is equal to x. Let's put it in here. So x equals to x squared. Bring the x to the other side. We get x squared minus x is equal to 0. Take out x as a common factor, which means x is either 0 or x is positive 1. X cannot be 0 because we are told that x needs to be positive. So that rules out x equal to 0, which means x is equal to 1. If x is equal to 1, since x is equal to y, y is equal to x, which means y is also equal to 1. Which means their product is simply 1 times 1. Their product is 1. X times y is 1. And that is answer choice A. Let's do number 10, shall we? Number 10. Just give me a break for a second. Number 10. I need my breaks because I'm too delicate, you understand? Number 10. We are told that a squared plus b squared is equal to z. We are further told that a times b is equal to z. The question is, how much is 4z plus 8y? 4z plus 8y. Let's see what we can do, shall we? The first thing we notice is that 4z plus 8y is same as 4 times z plus 2y. So there you go. something is wrong. This is equal to z and this is equal to z. That can't be it. A times b is equal to y. That helps. But there you go. If we can figure out what a z plus 2y is, multiply by 4, we'll have our answer. Well, z is right here. And 2y would simply be 2 times this amount. 2 times ab equals 2y. There you go. So z, we're working on this part now. Z plus 2y, z is this guy right here. A squared plus b squared, that's your z. And 2y, which is found out, is this. 2y is equal to 2ab. You recognize it now? We can write this as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which is simply a plus b whole squared. Now we can put that in there. So this quantity, z plus 2y, is simply a plus b whole squared. So it's 4 times a plus b whole squared. Now if you were to stop right there, you will see that none of the answer choices match, which means we need to cook it a little bit more. It's raw yet, it's not fully cooked. Let's cook it a little bit more. This 4 can be written as 2 squared. And we have a plus b whole squared. Since they have the both same exponents, we can write this as 2 times a plus b whole squared. I'm running out of room there. I'm going to try to squeeze it in here. Let's continue this up. Or can we continue here? Let's continue this down here. So if you open the parentheses inside, we get 2a plus 2b whole squared. And that's your answer. That's the final answer. 2a plus 2b whole squared. And that is answer choice B. We'll stop right here. Seems like logical place. And we'll pick up from where we left off next time when we meet. Okay? If you wish to get hold of me, as I said before, send me an email at keshwaniprep@icloud.com. And as I have always reminded you several times in the past, this is the 51st time we are meeting, that working on math is fine and dandy, but you must also work on your English part. And in the English portion, the most important ingredient is having the vocabulary. Improve your vocabulary, work on it. It is not something that can be done in a matter of a couple of weeks. It takes time. On my channel, you will find 100 videos. Just search for SAT vocabulary words, day 1, and that's where the series begins. Work on the vocabulary. Alright? Bye now.